Hello there. The President of the EU Commission, Jean-Claude Juncker, has claimed that the UK will regret its decision to leave the European Union. Speaking at the EU Parliament, the EU Commission chief said that the time would come when the UK will regret its decision to leave. He also reiterated that there would be no cherry-picking and that the UK needed to understand what it means to be outside the EU. He then went on to once again use the Irish border and thus the Good Friday Agreement as a negotiating chip. But he warned that the border between Northern Ireland and the Republic could be a major roadblock to sealing a deal, reports the Daily Mail. Mr Juncker said the controversial Brussels legal text demanding full regulatory alignment between Northern Ireland and the EU should not come as a surprise to the UK. He said it translates faithfully the agreement reached between Theresa May and the EU in December. Mr Juncker said the 27 member states stand firm and united when it comes to Ireland. For us, this is not an Irish issue, it is a European issue. This reference to the Irish border being a European issue was not, of course, well received by UK Brexit MEPs. The EU is continuing to claim that Northern Ireland must be fully aligned with the single market, which means then that under paragraphs 49 and 50 of the Joint Declaration, the UK would also have to be similarly aligned. This is not what the UK voted for, and as I've pointed out before, the three paragraphs 49, 50 and 51 of that document are a huge sellout and will cause us no end of problems in the future. Unless we just leave with no deal, then they will not apply. Now on to positive Brexit news. A Standard Chartered report out today says that the UK could boost its exports to emerging economies by $16 billion or £12.2 billion a year post-Brexit. The report talks about the world's richest countries, those known as the G7, that's the UK, the USA, France, Italy, Japan, Canada and Germany, trading with the 7 identified emerging markets, or E7, of Bangladesh, China, Indonesia, India, Nigeria, Pakistan and Vietnam. In its key findings, the report says of the UK exports to the E7 could potentially increase by $16.9 billion to $64.9 billion when the country leaves the EU. While the EU remains a critical trading partner, UK businesses could capitalise on export opportunities with all E7 countries. Now it should be noted though that the only country making the most of the G7 to E7 opportunity is Germany, which, says the report, is the greatest G7 to E7 success story. The other EU countries in the G7, the UK, France and Italy, should be asking themselves some serious questions here. Simple questions like, does leaving it to other people to sort out our trade deals for us actually work for our own economies? I'll let you answer that one. Writing in reaction, Alistair Benn, who is a Remainer, says that the Remain side deserved to lose the referendum. Remain did not deserve to win, and Remainers have to realise that. We had no God-given right to win that referendum. History was not on our side. That hasn't changed. Those in the centre of British politics like me must integrate the Brexit vote into our thinking. Corbyn showed the way in his speech on the customs union. We can too, he says. He is also scathing of the arguments that the Remain campaign made, saying that the case made then is basically the same as the case being made now. And he sums it up as follows. Vote in because we can manage things better in Europe. Vote in because Brexit isn't worth the hassle. Vote in because of the various rights associated with EU membership. Cheap holidays, visa-free travel, interrailing and the Erasmus programme. Don't rock the boat. Then he puts the knife in, saying, "If those are your arguments, you deserve to lose." Alistair Benn does make his own passionate case for Remain, but ends by saying that the current campaign does not speak for him. And just to let people know, 6 pro-EU groups have moved into a shared office for a so-called Brexit fightback. Open Britain, the European Movement, Britain for Europe, Scientists for EU, Healthier in the EU and InFacts, which represent a combined 500,000 people, will now be based under the same roof in London's Millbank Tower, in what staff have dubbed Grassroots Coordinating HQ, reports the Huffington Post. So it looks like it's high time for the Leave side to re-energise itself and come out fighting. And right on cue, some news from the UK Independence Party. Firstly, the interim party leader and MEP Gerard Batten took the opportunity of Commonwealth Day yesterday to call for a Commonwealth free trade area. Talking about the golden opportunity that Brexit gave us to reconnect with our Commonwealth partners, he said, "We have an opportunity to transform it into a Commonwealth free trade area. This would mean cheaper food and goods for the people of the UK and would benefit people in poorer countries through economic development." And he ended by saying, "Within a couple of years, Commonwealth Day will mean just that, a day to celebrate the expansion of the wealth of a friendly and historically connected group of countries that the UK let down so badly by joining the European community." And finally, after the Liberal Democrat leader Vince Cable effectively called all Leave voters old and racist, something I talked about yesterday, the UKIP deputy leader and MEP Mike Hookham hit back by saying that his comments were a politically motivated attempt to whip up yet more Brexit hatred. Speaking from Strasbourg, Hookham also questioned whether telling 17.4 million people that they were living in the past racists would move the political discourse forward. "If Cable thinks it is," said Hookham, "then he is in the wrong job." All Cable has done, said the UKIP MEP, was whip up yet more hatred between age groups in an already polarised debate, and he ended by saying that Vince Cable was trying to curry favour with the same young people his party let down so badly over tuition fees when they were in coalition with the Tories. But UKIP London Assembly member David Curtin went a step further. He has made a complaint to the Metropolitan Police about Cable's speech, where he said old Leave voters were driven by nostalgia for a world where passports were blue, faces were white, and the map was coloured imperial pink. David Curtin, who is himself a mixed-race Brexiteer, said, "It is a terrible slur to suggest that Brexit voters were motivated by some kind of racism. Brexit is about freedom and democracy, and there are many people like me who support Brexit but do not have white skin." And he went on to say, in Vince Cable's statement, he appears to demonstrate hostility to Brexit voters who are also white. It is possible that this is a hate crime as defined by the Crown Prosecution Service guidelines, which includes perceived hostility on the basis of a protected characteristic such as race. I have reported the incident to the police so they can investigate the matter further. The trouble is, we know these types of crime are focused on only being applied one way. Anyway, what are your thoughts on all of this? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.